Hello. We're starting a few minutes early. Because we have Mr. White over here. This is his last town meeting. But he gets to sit up front and center. So we couldn't let him go out, you know, thinking he was gonna get away with it. So, Gary, I want to recognize you. Thank you for the past 15 years of service as a selectman. And he's still on the fire department, so he can't get away from us yet. Gary's been a lifelong resident of Newry, and he's dedicated his time to help us make Newry a better place. So you're gonna be missed, but enjoy all your free time. And we have cupcakes for, you know, if people want to do that. We have cake Gary gets to take home.
Okay, I'll be taking all along.
The cake. I put it in.
Oh, yeah.
So Gary, thank you for your 15 years of service. You can share with your grandkids if you want, but you don't have to.
They don't like it.
So that's for you. You're welcome. But they do touch you here. Here. Take this over. 6 o'clock. Tomorrow. Newry Town Meeting, May 13th, 2025, 6 p.m. Barrow Range Hall, 71 Barrow Road, Newry, Maine. To Amy Henley, a resident, town of Newry, county of Oxford, state of Maine. Greetings, all. In the name of the state of Maine, you are hereby directed to notify and warn the inhabitants of the town of Newry and the said county and state qualified by law to vote in town affairs, and to notify and warn inhabitants to meet at the Barrow Range Hall, 6 p.m. in the evening, and to act on the following articles 1 through 46, as set below to wit. Article 1 has to be a written ballot. It is to choose a moderator by secret ballot to preside at the said meeting. Nominations are open.
I'll nominate Ray Dugan.
Second.
And we need 3 written ballots, please. Dave Doogie.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yes. Article 1.
Mailbox is empty.
Keep going.
Ballot box is now closed. Amy, would you like to count that?
Doogie. 3 votes for Dave Doogie.
So Dave Doogie is the moderator. Please come up, Dave, and I'll swear you in. Sure. Any questions? Appreciate that.
I, David Dewey, do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state so long as I shall continue a citizen thereof. I, David Dewey, do swear that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my abilities the duties incumbent upon me as moderator of this meeting according to the Constitution and the law of the state.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me again. And yeah, it's been a few years. Vern couldn't make it this evening, so we're going to call on me. And I just want to thank also add in my 2 cents. Thank you, Gary, for serving on the Oxford County Budget Meeting for several years. Appreciate that. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the main moderator's manual as usual. And just for quick housekeeping, I'm gonna ask for a motion to have non-citizens vote.
No.
I mean, non-citizens speak, thank you.
Joelle, as a non-resident.
What's
Just
that?
me, Joelle, just Joelle.
Oh, just,
Joelle, because she's a non-resident employee, so she would speak to
how
the,
about other non-residents?
I think that's it,
If it comes up.
but yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna have a motion for Joelle to speak at this meeting,
I make a motion for Joel
non-resident.
to be allowed to vote.
Speak.
To speak, yeah. To have a motion and a second for Joelle to speak at this meeting, I'll need 2/3 votes. Any questions, comments on that procedure? Seeing none, I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. What's that? Oh, yes, yeah. That's right, yeah. And so, yeah, next I'm going to ask, there's a couple people running for selectmen for Gary's seat, and just alphabetical order. Would you like to speak on behalf of your campaign?
Dave?
Ladies first.
Hi, I'm Suzanne White, and I'm running, and I am just really wanting to get more involved in the community and hopefully represent some younger families on the select board.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Bartlett, and I'm here to hopefully fill the position of the vacancy left by Gary White. Thank you for your service, Gary. I've been in public service now for many years. I started back in 1991 on the first Newry School Withdrawal Committee. And then I was on the Newry Planning Board for 10 years plus, along with the chairman of the schoolhouse committee for the town of Newry. I also am presently on the board of directors for SAD 44 for our school. I hope everybody gets out in June 10th and vote, and when they vote, I hope they vote for experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else before I get into the article? Okay, so I'm going to get right into the warrant with Article 2. But I'm just going to ask when making a motion, if you could please include the dollar amount or simply say as recommended. So Article 2, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for administration and salaries. May I have a motion?
Make a motion to raise the money.
I have a motion to, as recommended for Article 2. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Questions, comments on Article 2? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 3, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for ambulance service. May I have a motion?
Move Article 3 is printed.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second for Article 3. 19,575. Questions, comments? Yes.
Well, how much is that up from last year, Benny?
We went up from, we're $43 per capita now, and we were 41 last year.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 4, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for assessor's expense. May I have a motion?
Make a motion, we raise as recommended.
I'll
I
second.
have a motion and a second for Article 4. Questions, comments? Yes.
What is this about?
He's the assessor, he assesses the properties, sets the tax rate.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 5, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for maintenance of the cemetery. May I have a motion?
Make a motion, we raise the money as recommended.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for Article 5. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 6, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for committees and boards. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that we raise the money as recommended.
Second. I have a motion and a second for Article 6. Questions, comments?
What's the difference between last year?
He erased this one, yeah.
I'm not hearing any dollar amount, so I'm just curious why, I thought they were supposed to say the dollar amount. Regardless, what if I can't read? I'm just saying, I thought they were supposed to say the dollar amount.
He said it was recommended. 39,450.
Recommend,
Okay?
go for the checkbook.
Yeah.
Yes, the difference from last year?
I added 15,000 for legal fees, which they used to be included in the administration, but we put it under planning board, just to show what they use versus what we use.
Okay. Other questions, comments? I'll reiterate the amount, sir. Yeah. So I'm going to call for a vote on Article 6 for 39,450. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 7, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the town of Bethel recreation for Newry kids. May I have a motion?
That we raise the $4,400.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second for $4,400. Questions, comments? Oh, yeah.
I just want to add that we have 19 Newry kids that use the program, and we have 27 in SAD 44, so I think it's a pretty good program. I fully support it.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Everyone hear me okay? Okay. I'll put that as a yes. Article 8, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for community assistance. And the total is $24,361, and that's what I'll ask for a motion for, please.
I'll make a motion that we raise the $24,361.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for $24,361. So now we'll have questions, comments, and if anybody wants to amend any of those amounts up or down. So,
We got a question.
yes,
How much, when we get to the end of all of this, how much is the budget increase over last year?
okay. Do we have the total in
But it's up quite a bit when you get further in the articles, you'll see why. Because of roads.
roads and bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah, roads and bridges, are going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay, other questions, comments? Yes.
What's the SR plus,
Seniors plus,
seniors plus?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other questions, comments on Article 8? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 9, to see if the town will vote to appropriate money received from the cable franchise agreement to Western Maine Access Television, Channel 11. Do you have a motion?
Make a motion that we, Article pass.
Okay?
I'll second.
Motion and a second for Article 9 to pass. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carried. Article 10, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the municipal officers to use as they deem advisable to meet unanticipated expenses and emergencies that occur during fiscal year 2025-2026. Recommended amount is $2,000. May I have a motion?
Move Article 10, amount of 2,000.
Second it.
I have a motion and a second for Article 10. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 11, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for drain hall maintenance. Recommendation amount is $13,000. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion and we raise the 13,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for $13,000. Questions, comments? Yes.
Yes, what's the 13,000 for? I see everything's looking pretty good here.
We have to pay electricity, heat, building maintenance, miscellaneous stuff. We gotta get more new chairs. We gotta have our lift inspected.
Thank you. And you had a question?
He answered my question.
Okay, thank you. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 12, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for highways and bridges. The recommended amount is $839,429. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we raise the $839,429.
Second. A motion and a second? Questions, comments? Yes,
What bridges are we gonna repair this year?
okay.
Well, it just says highways and bridges, but it's paving. From all the flooding, we have to finish the final paving, and that's about $500,000. Some of that will get back from FEMA, hopefully, depends how that all goes, but, salt and sand had increased, mowing went up a little bit, so, striping.
Yes.
Is this a bond issue?
No,
Other questions, comments on Article 12? Seeing none, I'll call for vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 13, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the purpose of paying fees or charges required for membership in the Maine Municipal Association Property and Casualty Risk Pool and other town insurance costs. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we raise the $134,700.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for Article 13. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 14, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for operation and maintenance of the municipal building. The recommended amount is $34,800. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we raise the $34,800.
Second it. I have a motion and a second. For Article 14, questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 15, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for operation and maintenance of the fire department. The recommended amount is $197,564. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we raise $197,564.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for Article 15. Questions, comments? Yes, sir.
How much more is that this year than last?
oh, last year was $141,662.
$50,000 increase?
Pardon me?
About a $50,000?
Yeah,
Other
And
questions?
what would that be for?
equipment, operations and maintenance, salaries, all that's included in this, electricity, heat.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, seeing no other questions, comments, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 16, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for sanitation to pay all fees and membership charges for Tri-Town Solid Waste. Recommended amount is $259,000. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we raise it to 159,000.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second for Article 16. Questions, comments? Yes.
How much more is that than last year?
0, same amount.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none? Oh, yes, sir.
Will there have to be a special town meeting if they decide to go with a compactor?
We have a compactor. The scale's no, it's on, it's in the warrant.
It is.
Scale is later on.
Yeah.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 17, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for streetlights. The recommended amount is $1,000. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that we raise $1,000.
Second. Motion and a second for 1,000. That's down. I think, is that because of LED lights we have? Yeah. So, questions, comments?
Can this just go?
What's that?
One street light for them?
No, we got 6. We got 6. 6 streetlights.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carried. Article 18, shall the town authorize the municipal officers to carry forward unexpended balances as they deem necessary, all other unexpended balances to lapse to the fund balance. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that warrant pass.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for Article 18 as written. Questions, comments? Yes.
The only unexpended, the carry forward we're gonna have would be for the fire department, for the ladder truck repairs and the engine. Is that right, Charlie? Yep. Because we've got the parts, we had to get the parts for the ladder truck from Germany. So we're not sure if the guy will get here in time for the new budget. So we're gonna carry forward what they had from last year.
Any questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 19, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for digitizing the town of Newry tax maps and revising the paper maps.
Move on to
Recommendation is $6,000. May I have a motion?
Article 16, 6,000.
Yeah, I have a motion
Second.
and a second. For Article 19. Questions, comments? Yes.
I think it's a good idea for the town to get approval of my waters for my house.
Go get a survey.
Yeah, you have to bring in a survey.
We only go by deeds. Unless we have a survey.
Yeah. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 20, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the Sunday River Schoolhouse account. Recommendation is $4,000. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that we raise it $4,000.
Second it.
I have a motion and a second for Article 20. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 21, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the comprehensive plan update. Recommendation amount is $75,000. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we raise it $75,000.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for Article 21. Questions, comments? Yes.
I remember a while ago, they were looking for volunteers for that committee.
We've got them.
You have them?
Yeah, but I haven't had any meetings because we're waiting for the money. I don't want to stop the process. And not be able to move very far.
Other questions, comments on Article 21? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 22, to see what action the town wishes to take regarding allowing the municipal officers to spend up to 10% of the capital improvement account without seeking prior town approval. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 22 pass.
Second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for Article 22. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 23, to see if the town will vote to authorize municipal officers to accept donations not to exceed $5,000 on behalf of the town. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that Article 23 passes.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Article 23, questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 24, to see if the town will allow the municipal officers to sell or dispose of any town property with a value of not more than $2,000 under such terms and conditions that they deem advisable. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that Article 24 passes.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Article 24, questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 25, to see if the town will vote to fund the following capital reserve account with undesignated reserve funds, the fire department reserve account, $100,000. They have a motion.
Make a motion that Article 25 passes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Article 25, questions, comments? Seeing none, call for vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 26, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for Sunday River hazard mitigation. The recommended amount is $70,000. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that we raise the $70,000.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. For Article 26 for $70,000. Questions, comments?
Explain that.
Wait, I have a question here.
What does this expenditure?
Let Joe speak about that.
Okay, so the 70,000 is just for the design, the engineer, and the concept of what we were going to do in the river to try to keep it from eating into Sunday River Road. So, roads are more expensive to replace, so that 70,000 is just the engineering, so we can go after the grants and have what they call, what the government calls a shovel-ready project. Meaning the engineering is done, we're ready to rock and roll. Of course, this all depends on what happens with those grant dollars that we've been seeing that the administration is cutting. There's MEMA, which is the main emergency fund, and then there's FEMA, which is federal. And there's also a Susan Collins undesignated funds that we're going to be looking at those 3 grant services. So this is just to be ready to apply for those grants.
Okay.
Is that a question or a vote?
No, I have a question.
I'll get back. I think I had one over here first.
No, I was gonna ask the same.
Okay, yeah, so you
So in this $70,000, it says, Sunday River hazard mitigation, and there's a good stretch of Sunday River. Are there certain specific areas that mitigation or that what we're looking to get engineering for?
So the just south of the outward bound road, there's an old skid trail that runs across your land. Right about there, where the overflow channel became the main channel during the December 2023 flood. From there, all the way up towards letter S, there's different designated spots where new eddies and scouring had occurred. Some of it's right up against the road. Some of it's going to eat into areas that were previously fixed in 2016, kind of?
Yep.
Yep. So trees rot, Mother Nature moved some very, very large Volkswagen Beetle-sized rocks that were put in the river as a vein to direct the water away from Sunday River. All of that needs to be reassessed, and then hopefully they come up with a plan. Our engineers, we went out to bid, we received 3 bids. We went with the one that we're most familiar with. They did the work and the design back in 2016 and 2010, if I'm not correct, in the Bear River. So, does that answer the question? You're welcome.
Other questions, comments on Article 26? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 27, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the Forest Fire Reserve account. The recommended amount is $5,000. May I have a motion?
Motion that we raise the $5,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Article 27, questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. Those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 28, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the animal control officer. Recommended $3,000. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that we raise the $3,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for Article 28. Questions, comments? Yes.
Just a question, who's the controller for that?
Eric Giroux,
Where's he from?
Longford.
Okay. Oh.
You have to
Okay.
call Oxford County's non-emergency number, and they'll page you up. If you have any issues.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 29, to see if the town will vote to appropriate money received from the registrations and fines of dogs to enforce the animal control laws. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 29 pass.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for Article 29. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 30, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for scales at the transfer station. The recommended amount is $50,000. May I have a motion?
Make a motion we raise the $50,000.
I'll second
I have a motion and a second for Article 30. Questions, comments? Yes.
Is this a three-way split? Is 50, I mean, is it gonna be 50,000 for the other two towns?
No, we're not sure. The Bethel's has to vote for the whole amount when they do their town meeting. So then it's a percentage for us and a percentage for Hanover. That's as high as we will go, is the 50,000.
Do you expect it to be lower?
What's that? What was the second follow-up question?
Do you expect it to be lower?
Our percentage, I hope so.
So it's a placeholder for now?
Yes.
Yeah, back there?
Why are we putting scales in?
Why? Because we have all these contractors that are supposed to get roll-offs that don't. And they take trailer load after trailer load into the dump. And we're paying for it. They don't pay a dime. They're probably charging that person that they're building the house from to dispose of their trash. They're not paying for it, we
Why
are.
did we let them take it?
How you gonna stop them?
I don't know, you got three,
That's
four
why we're gonna
guys
get
down
scales, to
there.
make it fair for
You
everybody.
got 3 or 4 guys that work here full time.
Yeah, and if they tell you you can't dump there, what are you gonna do? You're gonna argue with them, and you're gonna give them a hard time. And then they're gonna call the sheriff. And then, you know, this way tough is everywhere. Mike?
Yes.
Who gets weighed?
Pardon me?
Who gets weighed?
Everybody. Oh, everybody with a trailer or a pickup. If you have your household trash in your pickup, just household trash with no construction debris or anything.
Just construction debris.
So how much are you gonna charge?
I have a question up here. Just raise your hand if you have a question or comment.
He
You're good?
discussed it.
Okay. Other questions, comments?
Where's
Yes.
the money going? Is the town getting the money, is the seller getting the money, who's getting the money?
The towns will get them.
Okay.
Another question over here? Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like the stuff that's up on top gets put in and is weighed before it goes in. Like everything down on the bottom is.
Right.
The stickers. too.
Stickers, yeah, stickers.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, on the roll-off dumpsters and stuff and that like there, we get called a lot of these places and that like, and they're taking advantage of us because they ain't, and if we're gonna enforce that, we gotta go around and fine them for not having a dumpster on their site that they're building. And that like there, and make it so it's gonna be more expensive to go to the scales and unload it than it is to rent the dumpster.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Any reaction to that? No?
I have a comment.
Yes.
I have talked to some people just out in public, they have a hard time finding dumpsters in a timely fashion, but I think scales is just more fair for everyone.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Okay, I'm going to call for a vote now. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Good conversation. Article 31, to see if the town will vote to adopt the updated tri-town solid waste interlocal agreement between the towns of Bethel, Hanover, and Newry. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 31 pass.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second for Article 31. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Whoops, I'm sorry. I got a question over
The
there.
question was, back along, how is are the three towns divided up in terms of cost? Do you know that?
It's, you should have a copy of the interlocal agreement in your packet of goodies.
Yellow?
Yellow, yeah, it's Bethel 54%, Newry 40, and Hanover 6.
Almost handled.
Pardon?
We could almost handle.
Yeah. That individually changed.
Vote your feet.
Yeah.
Any other questions on Article 31? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 32, to see if the town will vote to use undesignated funds for personal property that is uncollectible from the years 2010 to 2020. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 32 pass.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second, Pat.
I have a motion and a second for Article 32, and there's a couple of listed items right underneath that in your warrant, so. Questions, comments?
Way back first, just explain, what does that mean? Do those people owe money, or we owe them money? I don't get it.
These people owed money, and so it's the prior administration. We've been fighting with the auditor for about 3 years, and we gotta get it off the books. So this is a recommendation from our attorney to get it off our books. at least not.
So they beat the town for 25,000?
No, no.
Okay, yes.
First, I'd like to ask how funds can be used that are uncollectible. What the heck does that mean?
Undesignated means in our, every town has, like you have a savings account, it's an undesignated account. So we're asking permission to take this money out of our savings account to pay these bills.
And what are the bills exactly that we're paying?
With these two personal property bills, we're taking it out of there to get it off the books.
Since this issue involving Keith Durgan is pending, I'm very surprised that
It's not
wording-
pending.
Yes, it's pending.
No, it's not.
The
It's been off-
wording is prejudicial,
No,
and I find this offensive.
well, I'm sorry, but this is not pending, it's been finalized, he's paid, we've done our bit, and this is how we
And
settle it.
it should be explained then why they're uncollectible. Because it was proven that they weren't supposed to be collected, but that's not mentioned in here.
No,
Is this meant to embarrass people?
no. If you want to see what we have for the attorney, send me a freedom of request access, and I'll give you one.
Okay, thank you. Other questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, I'm gonna call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Article 33, to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the town revaluation reserve account. The recommendation is $50,000, and I have a motion.
Make a motion that we raise the $50,000.
A motion and a second for Article 33. Questions, comments? Yes.
When do they plan to reevaluate the town?
Well, we're supposed to have a reevaluation done about every 10 years. And you have to start saving for it. Because it's big bucks with all the new houses, and they go to every property in the town when you do a revaluation.
Unless it's a big, otherwise it's a big surprise.
Yeah.
Other questions, comments?
What
Yes.
year is it supposed to happen?
Pardon me?
What year is that evaluation supposed to happen?
We're not 100% sure. We don't have anything in that account yet, so we had to start somewhere.
Thanks. Yes.
When was the last valuation?
2020, I think. 2021. I wasn't here.
So we're projecting
Yes. So if we raise a little this year,
7 years out, 5 years
Yeah.
out now.
Yeah.
probably.
Thank you.
And you expect to raise that amount every year? to put
or thereabouts, yeah,
that?
Evaluated each year.
yeah.
Other questions, comments? Yes.
What was the cost of the last evaluation?
I don't know. I could look it up for you, but I don't, off the top of my head.
What- That's, over the course of a few years, that's $300,000 or more.
I believe it was more than that, but
We'll be doing that again.
Yeah,
We've got some
yeah.
pretty pricey properties.
yeah, not a job I'd want to do.
How long does it take you to do an evaluation of the town?
It'd take them almost a year, I think.
Other questions, comments on 33? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 34, to see if the town will vote to use funds from the town buildings capital account. The recommendation is to pass it. The town office, $27,140. Bear River Fire Station, $32,941. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 34 pass.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second. Article 34, questions, comments? Seeing, yes.
What are we using the funds for?
At the town office, we need a new chimney, and that came in at $19,640. And we need a new furnace because, or an update to a furnace because it doesn't heat the whole building very well. When the winter was last year, we couldn't get above 65 in the end, so that's another $7,500.
Thank you. Other questions, comments on Article 34? Seeing none, yes.
So, the money raised previously on other warrants for the fire department, does it cover building maintenance as
This-
well?
This is for a new door at the Bear River Station, the electrical, and they have to build, do something in the front with the doors.
Easy answer is no.
Correct. This is extra maintenance, this is extra stuff, this isn't regular maintenance. No, we're not raising this money, this money's already there from the capital account.
Right, yes, but it's still being spent.
Correct.
Other questions, comments on Article 34? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 35, to see if the town will vote to use the overlay for abatement on taxes. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 35 pass.
Second that. I have a motion and a second, Article 35. Questions, comments? Yes.
What is this article? What does it address?
If you get your tax bill and you don't like it, and you think we've assessed you too high, and you come in with all your documentation to give to the assessor, he goes through it, finds out you're right, you get an abatement.
Overlay, I'm confused by that. The use of the term overlay.
Yeah, we have to put an overlay when we do our tax calculation of this.
What's an overlay?
For mistakes.
Yeah.
So let's say we think that your value is, just for easy dollars, $100,000, but then you prove that it was 80. We still have to have the money in the account, so we do a little extra so that we could refund you if there was.
Playing the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 36, to see if the town will vote to charge interest on taxes not paid before a certain date and establish the date and rate of interest. The recommended annual rate of 7.5% on taxes not paid before September 30th and March 31st is 2 installment payments. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that Article 36 pass.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second for Article 36. Questions, comments? Yes.
Is this 7.5% the state's recommendation?
Yes, this is set by the state of Maine.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 37, to see if the town will vote to set the interest rate to be paid by the town on abated taxes at 3% for the fiscal year. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 37 passes.
I'll second
We
that.
have a motion and a second for Article 37. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 38, to see if the town will vote to authorize the tax collector or treasurer to accept payments of taxes not yet committed and set the rate of interest at 0% for overpayments pursuant to 36 MRSA Section 506. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 38 passes.
Second it.
I have a motion and a second for Article 38. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 39, to see if the town will vote to authorize the municipal officers to dispose of tax-acquired property as they deem in the best interest of the town, except that the municipal officers shall first use the sale process in 36 MRS Section 943C if they choose to sell property to anyone other than the former owner. For sales to someone other than the former owner, the excess sale proceeds as defined in 36 MRS Section 943C shall be returned to the former owner. Do you have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 39 passes.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Article 39, questions, comments?
Can you get an explanation of what's going on in this case?
This went through legislature, saying that they didn't want you to make a profit off somebody's foreclosure, which most towns don't anyway, they just go it for attorney fees, legal fees, and what the taxes owe. So now it's just, if you make any money off it, it's got to go back to the former owner.
Thank you. Other questions, comments on Article 39? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 40, to see if the town will vote to appropriate money received from the registrations of snowmobiles and municipal snowmobile grants to the Windy Valley Snowmobile Club for the purpose of maintaining the snowmobile trails. May I have a motion?
Motion that Article 40 passes.
Second
I have a motion and a second for Article 40. Questions, comments? Yes.
I was just curious as to what the average yearly.
Less than $300.
Other questions, comments?
That include grants?
Pardon?
That include any grants received?
No, grants are separate. Grants is just a pass-through thing, we don't even, nothing, we don't.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 41, to see if the town will vote to use $200,000 from the undesignated funds to offset taxes. May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 41 passes.
Second that. I have a motion and a second for Article 41. Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Motion carries. Article 42, shall an ordinance entitled Address Ordinance Town of Newry be repealed, and an ordinance entitled Addressing Ordinance for the Town of Newry be enacted? And I believe we have those ordinances. May I have a motion?
Motion that Article 42 passes.
Second
I have a motion and a second. Article 42, questions, comments?
It's the blue one. Yes.
So we're just changing the wording, or is there something more important?
Just more, just what?
It was, we can't find where it was ever attested, so that's why it's repealed in its entirety and replaced in its entirety. Very little edits were done to the original 1996 version.
Other questions, comments on Article 42? Yes.
I was just curious in reference to the fees for the permit. It states that there's no set fee, it's as like on a per permit basis or something that the bill paid.
This is the addressing one, it has no fees.
Has no fees.
This is not the ordinance.
No,
This one here.
no, it's the blue one.
Thank you. Other questions, comments on Article 42? Do you want some time?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 43, shall an ordinance entitled Town of Newry Vacation Renter Registration Ordinance be enacted? May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 43 passes.
Second. Okay, I have a motion and a second for Article 43. Questions, comments, any other motions? Yeah?
We had three, Joel had a public meeting for the public at large. They came here, there was 60-something people.
56, that's fine.
Yeah. And then we had two other public hearings with very low attendance, but it was advertised on our website, in the newspaper, on our Facebook page. Just to give you all a heads up, this isn't something new that we just throw on it. It's been around, been on, shared on Facebook.
Thank you.
It's the yellow one, everybody.
Yep.
Yes.
I have a number of comments, actually. First of all, maybe there is a need for it, but I feel like the way it's written, it's kind of cloudy. I have asked a number of questions and got some answers, and I appreciate the quick response to all on the last two questions.
Yeah.
One of my issues is, first of all, it's more government controls that we have to deal with on having our own land. We own our land, and yes, if it's not affecting everybody else, you know, I just don't understand why we have so many controls about it. My biggest thing, I guess, is I said, when did this go into effect? So, immediate was the response. And I feel like, how can this go into effect immediately? We're kind of putting the cart before the horse, because if you read it, we're registering at the end of the year. So, I'm like, there's many people that do rentals, and they have probably contracts in place already. And if they are not in compliance with this, then we're basically breaking the ordinance. Another question I had was in regard to how are we going to enforce this? And I was told it's basically by complaints. That's when they would go in and investigate or whatever and go to somebody's home. So I have kind of a hard time with that as well, because if you've got a great neighbor that likes you and is very tolerant of what's going on next door, and then you have one that isn't so tolerant or doesn't like you for whatever reason, they're going to complain. And then I feel like it's now going to start some issues legally.
Oh, absolutely.
Which the town could be in jeopardy about. So those are just some of my concerns. I have others if you want to keep hearing, but like I said, I just don't understand how it can go into effect immediately. Maybe December 1st, because if you're not in compliance, some of these things, people need to upgrade septic systems, people need to maybe do a number of things, put in different kinds of windows, whatever. I just think if it's enacted, we need to have a little time, whether it's December 1st, or I mean not December 1st, but January 1st. Because not all rentals are just people that come up skiing. So those are some of my arguments, and I hope others have other arguments.
Thank you. Any reaction to that, anybody? Yes.
Those would have been great to hear at one of the three other public hearings we had, because we did listen and take into account of the 56 people that showed up in the February meeting. We had some great discussions that night, and it did institute a lot of changes in the ordinance and how it's presented today versus what I presented that night. Yeah, today's is the day that we vote on it as it is. All ordinances, unless specified by a date, are enacted by this voting body today. Our budget gets set, that goes into effect July 1. We don't usually set dates on our ordinances, they go into effect when they are voted on and passed. I don't have any clearer explanation than that, and that's how ordinances are written.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Okay, yeah, I'm going to follow on you, then you. But before I do, I'm just going to read something from the moderator's manual, and because this is a sensitive issue, so it seems. So please be courteous and refrain from side conversations. It is very unnerving to the person who has the floor. So if you could please abide by that, and then we're going to move forward.
I agree with some of the things that were just said. It's my opinion that the town officials shouldn't be doing anything to further burden people at this time in view of what the economy is. And I also found some of the parts in this to be extremely invasive to private property owners, which is also supporting what was just said.
Thank you. Yeah, over here.
I'm in favor of this ordinance, primarily for the protection of the town's groundwater. We have many rentals that are overtaxing their wastewater disposal systems by putting in too many people into the house. The systems weren't designed for that, and that pollution to the groundwater goes downstream into your neighbors. It's going to start affecting well waters as well as the conditional waters in the Sunday River and the various brooks around here. So I am very much in favor of this ordinance.
Thank you. Way back, I had one, and then up here.
Me?
Yeah.
You can't enforce it. She's not allowed in my house. Nobody in the is allowed in my house. There's one person in the state of Maine coming in the house without a warrant, and that's a game for him.
Thank you. And up here?
Yeah. I'm interested in what it is that got this ordinance going in the first place. I mean, the things that happen, I've heard about it in various places, where the guy next door is shooting off fireworks in the middle of the night, or some is parking too many cars in the driveway, or whatever it is. But it seems as though we ought to be able to have a list of things that you shouldn't be doing with the space.
Thank you. Yes, that's a jump ball.
Sure. Yep. So the reason we started working on this ordinance was the 2 o'clock in the morning, fire department gets toned out by an alarm company, not even the occupants of the home, it's an alarm company out of wherever. And we get there and they are tenants. We don't have any way of contacting the owner. Most of these are trust LLCs. There's no phone number that I can contact them for that. And then on top of that, the tenant doesn't have the secret password to tell the alarm company, yeah, it's Bear River 422, please shut the alarm off. It could just be a battery, it could be a water alarm down in the basement, it could be something very benign, but we don't know that as a fire department, and we're gonna go and we're gonna respond, and what we see when we get there, sometimes shocks us. It's not every house, it's not every condo, it's not every townhouse, and it's certainly not every, for lack of a better term, we'll call it a mansion. They're bunk beds in rooms blocking the egress windows. There's smoke detectors removed from the ceiling. May not have been the owner of the house, but it certainly could have been a tenant that didn't do what they should have done maybe. Maybe they're not supposed to smoke in the home and they're removing the smoke detectors. The biggest one I see, and unless it's on the quasi-public Sunday River Resort sewer system, is the advertising for the, you know, I'm gonna pick on my neighbor right across the street, yeah. This log cabin across the street is a 3-bedroom septic service. That's typically designed 2 heads per bedroom. You know, mom and dad come and spend the weekend, they're sleeping on the couch, great. Okay, so there's 8 people in the home. These houses are being advertised for 16 and 22. It's a 4-bedroom house. It should have 8 to 10 people in it. The septic systems are being taxed. That's the groundwater issue Ted spoke of. So those are the big ones. And then the complaints I get in my office, trash, you know, the bears and the raccoons. They'll find a way into just about anything. And then secondly is noise. There, you know, we are a resort community. We're not limiting the number of rentals. But we do want to be able to sleep at night when we're laying next door to it, and the guys next door, you know, they came up from Boston or Rhode Island, you know, they're here for a good weekend. They're partying and they're partying loud, so noise.
One here and one over there. I'm gonna go.
Doesn't it sound like sense that you're talking about these people, even if there wasn't anybody at that house, you would still have to go there if the alarm's going off, right?
100%.
So what difference does it make if there's somebody there or a resident there? And then the other thing I got is, we're all sitting here, and you walk on Merrill Hill right now, and they've blown the hell out of that damn mountain up there, and it looks like motels are being built up there right now. They're like $7 to $12 million houses, and it looks, they're big as motels. And if you don't believe me, go up there. I take a ride up there about every week, just to see how much. Everybody in the state of Maine and Massachusetts and New Hampshire are working up there right now, building more houses. So, I don't see how this ordinance right here is gonna control anything, unless you control them up there building.
I'm not authorized to do those inspections
Well, I
by
know
this
that.
body.
There's gotta be somebody out there that, like you say, these places that have so many people, there's gotta be some law that.
Thank you. I've got one back here, and then one up here, and then you.
So, a lot of the rental houses that we respond to, all they do is get the code to get in the door. They never read the list if the homeowner has left a list in that like they are. And that like that, and we see everything and anything when we go to some of these
I
places.
know you probably do, but.
So what's that have to do with septic system?
Because most of the houses,
How you put these two things together?
2-bedroom house and that like, and there's 17 people spending the night there at 3 o'clock in the morning when we get a call because we have to change the battery in the smoke detector.
Yeah, but when I have questions, please direct them up here, and not arguments back and forth, please. Yes.
How many alarm increase do we go this year? We have 59 that we have circled it, found it. How much of an increase from last year?
I don't know.
I'd like to know that.
Probably not.
Because I'm guessing like 20 to 30% of it is Sunday River cost.
Sunday River, we're not,
Go ahead, Joel.
okay, so when you say Sunday River, the
We
report,
have, when we get 911 calls, they're automatically, they're recorded for the state and town of Newry. We had over 50 this year, just in the winter season. Is that counted?
you're talking about the results, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay. So, she's correct. Those calls to the hotel that are actually Sunday River or Boeing Resort owned properties, those have gone up. The systems are aging, they know it, they're working on it. But the same thing happens in these homes. We pull down a smoke detector and read the back of it and it's over 10 years old. We're doing the maintenance now at this point. You're right, we're gonna go no matter what. That's what the fire department does, we're gonna go and respond. But on the flip side of that, it's more than just the fire department. It's our groundwater, it's our runoff, it's what's happening with our streams and brooks, and it's the environment in which we all live.
Thank you. Yes.
Just one more question, comment that I didn't cover earlier is, I'm sure we have hundreds, and I'm sure you guys don't even know how many renters applications you're gonna get, but I feel like we're going to be having to hire somebody else just to go through all the applications and make sure everything's in them. Say nothing about, we don't really have much enforcement procedures, so I just wanted to mention that. I just feel like it's going to create another employee for our town, and that's costing money as well. And again, there's fees involved. I know that they offset that, but I know they're saying they're not going to hire somebody, but I just don't know how you're going to be able to do that many applications. I know the first year would be the worst, but I just don't know how you're going to do that without hiring somebody else.
Thank you. Back there?
My other question is, why do we keep giving out building permits up there if we're worried about groundwater and everything?
Because do we want to vote tonight and say a moratorium on no more building? Because I'm pretty sure I won't make it back to Bethel without getting run off the road. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, I'm saying that, we're worried about it, why do we keep letting them build?
You have a suggestion, please come to the town
Well,
office
that's
and
what I'm
talk
saying,
about it.
then, how are you gonna enforce it? You try to pass more stuff here against us, but I just don't understand, it doesn't even make sense.
Thank you. Another question, comment?
It's obvious that a great deal of effort has gone into the preparation of this order. But it's very broad. And I think we're really fortunate in this town. We have a code enforcement officer who is personable and easy to work with. And that's very good. But the notion that this will be enforced by complaint more than another way is a bit of a problem for me. I have personal knowledge of she's not going to be our code enforcement officer forever. Someday she's going to retire. We don't know who will get. But I watched a case go through the court system where a code enforcement officer basically weaponized an ordinance And that went all the way to the Maine Supreme Court and ultimately cost the town hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so, you know, Reagan said, government's not the solution, government's the problem. And I'm inclined to fall down on that side of it. I think Ted's comments about the groundwater situation are valid, but I'm just concerned that this is too much, too quick, and too broad. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I will say, since this conversation started in December, and then we had our first meeting in February, I have had 5 different LLC property owners. These are not their homes, these are businesses, they're here for the rental. Come forward, say, hey, give me my design. They have submitted new designs, and their septic systems are being enlarged today. So I've had at least 4 of those already start. It broadened thinking. If nothing else happens here tonight, it did broaden and open up some eyes.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Article 43. I'll have to have a motion.
A motion, we go out, close discussion.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a motion to move the question, which needs a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. It's not debatable, but I do need 2/3 of the vote. Any questions on the procedure we're doing here? We're not voting on the ordinance. We're just voting on ending the conversation and just go to voting. So, everyone understand?
No?
Okay,
We're voting on whether to keep talking about it or just vote on it.
yeah.
So if you'd like to vote on it, we're voting yes. If you want to keep talking, vote no.
Thank you. Right, so if you want to stop the discussion, vote yes. So all those in favor of moving the question? Thank you. I have all those opposed. I have 2/3 unless anybody wants to challenge that, and we can get a count. We can tally. Anybody want to challenge that?
Well, I had my hand up, but you didn't see me over here.
Oh, to talk?
Yeah.
Okay. He moved the question, so that means there's no more discussion, sorry.
I understand.
Okay.
And I'd like to make a motion that this is a written ballot.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to have this written ballot because it does seem to be a sensitive issue. So, let me see.
This is just to end debate.
Pardon me?
This is just to end the debate, so nobody can say.
No,
Have a written ballot.
we already ended the debate. Now I have a motion to fix the method of voting, to have a written ballot. And I have a second,
You just ended debate.
and that's,
We did, and then I made a
Yeah, but you
motion.
can't take up a second motion after you end the debate.
I just did. So it's not debatable. And I just need a majority on fix the method of voting. So then, I'm gonna, any questions on that? Okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we doing this legally then, if we end this stuff? I don't know. Yeah. But this is the question.
Unless
Should that
any-
have been done prior to ending the debate?
Right. We ended the debate.
We ended the debate.
But you
Now
can't take another
we're fixing the method of voting, which is gonna be
Can you do that?
a written ballot. Yes. I'm
Okay,
declaring
that's
it.
what I'm asking. I'm not a legal expert.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so, all those in favor of doing a written ballot, please raise your hand. Thank you. Opposed? Okay, I just need a simple majority on that. So motion carries. So now we are going to vote yes or no, I guess, on Article 43. How do you have that? Do you want them, if they don't have a pen, you'll just have them written?
We have pencils to pass out.
No means it fails, yes means it passes. No means it fails, yes means it passes.
That's correct. Yeah. So Article 43, you're going to get a ballot, and if you want this to, this ordinance to pass, circle yes. If you don't want it to pass, circle no.
Confusing me. Confusing me.
Yes, if you want the ordinance to no entails.
Yes, the path, no is the detail.
Thank you, Gary, for your
Get this meeting done tomorrow. After that, you don't Big boat.
Get a big look. You can't come back the way you came.
Okay, this is the one. Don't do
Facebook on the Wednesday and on
Ballot box is closed.
Am I allowed to help? No? Okay. I'll sit down.
We have a count, you want to hear it? The yeas are 15 and the nays are 40, so the motion does not pass. Thank you. Good discussion, that's fine, that's the kind of government there is, the town meeting. Article 44, shall an ordinance entitled Amendments to Land Use and Building Code of Ordinance be enacted? May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 44 pass.
It's the white one. This one?
Do I have a second?
Yes, Mandy, that one.
I have a motion and a second for Article 44. Questions, comments? Yes.
I think this is the one that I questioned,
The fees,
and there not being a set fee.
there are, let me,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
There are set fees. We have a fee schedule in town that handles fees for, planning board applications, septic permits, plumbing permits, building permits, huh? It's 25 cents per square foot for the first movable floor, 10 cents for the basement, 10 cents for second, decks, garages, all that type of stuff. So it's in our master fee schedule.
Thanks. Other questions, comments on Article 44? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 45, shall an ordinance entitled Town of Newry, Town Road Entrance Ordinance be enacted? May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 45 passes.
The pink one.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for Article 45. Questions, comments? Good. I guess I'm going to call for a vote. Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Article 46, shall an ordinance entitled Amendment to the Unified Development Review Ordinance be enacted? May I have a motion?
Make a motion that Article 46 passes.
Second it. I have a motion and a second for Article 46. Questions, comments?
The green one.
The green one? Okay, I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. That's it, we good? Okay, we're going to adjourn at 7:17. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.